The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. This is for all those real Americans that get up and go to church on Sunday mornings. This is a college football sermon here this Sunday afternoon. And the football gods came unto me last night, and they said unto me, JPC, the OCF. There is a false prophet in the midst, the one that you've already been aware of and called out. This false prophet has said unto the masses, Thou shalt not cometh into California, for we shall walleth it off, and no one shall steal any recruits from California ever again. And yet, that wall that you're building, Tebow, Linky Boy, Lincoln Riley, it's about as weak as that Joe Biden wall on our national border. As it seems like Oklahoma, the team that can't recruit their own state, the team that no longer, you can't recruit there. Seems like that team has come into your state and took a top 3 player, took your lunch money. Let's talk about it. As the Outlaw Posse comes riding in once again, I'd like to give our list of contributors to this week's program. First, our donors, old 56-timer with a nice $10 donation, as well as Denson9998. Appreciate the hell out of those donations. As I said before, it keeps me fired up, keeps me up and motivated to do this thing each and every week. Credits for this topic go to Heath Stokes, Eric Taco Marino, Teresa Moser, and Brandon Dunn for sending me links about this story on Davon Mitchell, who just committed to the Oklahoma Sooners. And our 4 horsemen shout-outs this week go to Marty King, Zach Hamner, Kathy Clark, and Chicken 1515. And if you want your badge like they have, and you want to get that shout-out as well, all you got to do is join the Outlaw Posse. It's not $2.99 a month. 75 cents a week is a little join button next to the subscribe button. And as I've said ad nauseum, if you're on an Apple phone, you cannot join YouTube membership channels for whatever reason, so you have to get on a laptop or computer. Now, this is the Outlaw of College Football, and I can be located on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it here. These USC fans, they had one come in there talking about that the reason why he gets on here. He started trying to kiss up to y'all. But he said, y'all come here and give me a hard time because I can't seem to quit grilling on USC and Lincoln Riley. Well, the reason I keep doing that, and this guy's name was, I think it was Arturo, or his handle was @TroyBiz. Arturo. It sounds like a unwanted bastard child of some Greek god or something. Notice I said unwanted. So I'm getting complimented by the Greek god thing. But y'all want this to stop, but it just keeps happening because stuff like this happens. Because Tebow sets himself up for failure. He says things, he does interviews, he makes little statements that make him look like a liar. First, he said you couldn't recruit to Oklahoma, and Brent Venables, as I've said many times, has had 2 top 10 classes back-to-back. One of them was a top 5 class. He's out-recruited USC each and every year that he's been in Oklahoma. And now he's talking all that smack about nobody's going to come into California and get any players. And Alabama's been going over and getting quarterbacks and other players without any problems, as well as Georgia and other teams probably. And now you got the team that you said you couldn't recruit to, which you should have probably clarified that a little bit by saying you couldn't recruit to Oklahoma. And now you can't really recruit to USC at the level you claimed you was going to. You can't even wall off that state like you claimed you was going to do, because Oklahoma has just come in there and took probably one of the best tight ends in the nation. It says here in the notes, Davon Mitchell, tight end from Los Alamitos, California, is going to go to Oklahoma and reclassify. He's the number 29 overall recruit on No.3 rankings. Number 29 overall, not by position. Number 2 ranked tight end in the state of California. Number 3 overall in the whole state. That's a pretty big state to be number 3 overall. And it says here that he grew up in Alabama and was a fan of Alabama, but after attending an Oklahoma game, he decided that he was going to go to Oklahoma. He fell in love with Oklahoma. He went to a game in middle school, and now you have what you have. But the real thing that struck me here is his top 5 was, where was it? Oh, yeah. He chose Oklahoma over Alabama, Miami, Texas A&M, and USC. Now, USC wasn't on the list as far as the screenshot that I'm going to put up later, but that just tells you right there, that speaks volumes, that USC is supposed to be the flagship-bearing school in that state. They're the most famous college football program in that state, and yet they couldn't even get in this guy's top 5. They wasn't even mentioned. He was not even on the radar. Now, a lot of these USC fans will probably run in here and tell you, oh, we wasn't even recruiting him. That wasn't even tight end. You said yourself that's number 2 tight end. We getting the number 1 tight end. No. That's not what you said, though. You said that all the top players in the state of California, this is what Tebow said, this is what Lincoln Riley said, old Linky Boy said, that all the top players in the state of California were not going to go outside the state of California. And yet, they're going outside the state of California. And they're going to the team that you used to be the coach of. I mean, that's got to be a huge, huge slap in the face. Now, he said that he loved Brent Venables' creative Soul program. It's called the Soul Mission. It's an acronym, SOUL. And what that does is it hires former football players to come in and teach current football players life lessons outside of football. And what does that say about Brent Venables and his coaching staff? It shows that they're not just doing political speak. That they're not just saying, oh, we care about your academics and we want to be like a family to you. This ain't about us wins and losses, yada, yada, yada. He goes the next step. Him and Oklahoma go the next step and create a program that's geared at teaching football players life lessons and how to cope with life after football as well as academics. I certainly don't think USC has anything like that. And if you want me to stop talking about it, if you want me to quit grilling on USC and Lincoln Riley, then it's simple. Don't make these asinine statements, these open-ended statements that can come back and bite you. Saying stuff like you can't recruit to Oklahoma when you haven't even given Brent Venables a chance to recruit to Oklahoma. And saying that nobody's going to come into California and get any recruits. I just don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know, tell you USC fans that keep coming in here. Y'all think that if y'all come in here and say that you give me a hard time and that you're going to keep coming in here and trying to, troll me and all that stuff, it's not going to stop me. It's just going to make it worse because all you doing, man, is paying my bills for me. And what's even more special is the whole reclassification thing. He reclassified himself, so he's no longer a 2025 recruit, but 2024. It means he can come to Oklahoma early now. A lot of players have done that in the past, but it just speaks volumes of how much he wants to get here and get to work, that he's willing to miss part of his senior year to get on board and come on out here and be a part of the process at Oklahoma. Now, he cited Joe John Finley and Jerry Schmidt, a.k.a. Coach Smitty, and current recruit, I think his name is Michael Hawkins. Yeah. Current quarterback recruit Michael Hawkins, who he is really good friends with. Seems like Michael Hawkins is doing a lot of recruiting because there's a couple of wide receivers that like Hawkins as well that may end up coming to Oklahoma because of Michael Hawkins. You just can't simulate this stuff. You see, all this thing about soul mission and him coming here in middle school and now it feeling like family. You cannot simulate passion. You cannot simulate family. It's a sense of belonging. And you can't emulate that. That's not something that you can fake, Lincoln Riley. And that's why, sooner or later, what's going to happen? I ain't going to lie, I hope it does happen. Mary Caleb is going to leave. Mary Caleb Fingernails is going to leave. And then we're going to start seeing what you're really made of. You may continue to have great offenses, but eventually, I think you're going to get fired. People keep saying, oh, he's going to leave in a couple of years and go to the NFL. I don't want to see that. Because that would mean that he was a success. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I'm going to be transparent here. I want him to fall flat on his face because of the shady shit he done. Okay? I don't want him going to the NFL unless he's forced to and he's some kind of offensive coordinator or something like that. I don't want him getting another head coaching job in college football. I want him to be done. I want him to be so bad he's out of football altogether. Or, as I like to say a lot, I'd like to see him pushed over to the Japanese American Football League as the punting coordinator for the Nagasaki Egg Rolls. And that's all I got to say about that. And once again, if you want to get your badge, you'll get a little badge if you join the Outlaw Posse. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and get your Four Horsemen shout out every so often, all you got to do is hit that join button. It's the subscribe button and join the Outlaw Posse for $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. Also, there's a little heart down here. If you're going to give a one-time donation, just throw that in there. Also, got a Cash App in the description of this video, a link in the description, a Cash App. You can hit that if you want to cut the middleman out. And like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.